And on the line right now, man, we got our man, the hip-hop doc, Dr. MJ Collier, and there's so much going on, man. Good morning, my brother.
Good morning, Head Crack, and the Morning Hustle crew. It's so good to hear you guys, and so wonderful for you allowing me to have this forum to talk about the coronavirus pandemic.
Well, thank you so much for pulling up on us. Now, Ange, what were you saying yesterday?
Yeah, so Dr. Collier, good morning. Ange, Richard, the Pfizer Corporation, they have, the pharmaceutical company made headlines yesterday. They said, they've got this vaccine. It's 90% effective in their participants. They've got over 40,000 participants. And it's basically, sounds like a preventative measure in terms of getting the coronavirus. So stopping people from getting it. And then you've got Moderna as well. They've been working on their vaccine. Can we talk a little bit about what's happening with these tests and the good news and what it all means in terms of a timeline for getting a vaccine to the people?
Oh, great question, Angie. So let me say that because the vaccine is now available and seems to be 90% effective, that's right along the lines with the measles vaccine, which means it's very, very good, and it's a great match as far as the disease state is concerned. But understand, what a vaccine does is protect you from catching the virus. If you catch the virus, you're still at as high risk as anybody else of having a poor outcome. But with 90% effectiveness, hopefully there won't be enough viable hosts in the community to perpetuate this pandemic. So that should shut the pandemic down. So let's look at the timeline. The vaccine will probably be available for elderly and for frontline providers starting in late December, January. But by the time it's actually available for the general public, it may be up to another full year. It's just the logistics of getting the vaccine out there. But let's say it was available yesterday. You get the shot today. And now it's still going to take about 4 weeks for you to build up an immunity to the vaccine, to the virus, rather. So you just have to make sure that you protect yourself, continue to wash your hands, wear your mask, and watch your distance. And then after that period of time, you should have some long, ongoing immunity.
Got you. Now, a quick question here. There, you look historically like there's been mandatory vaccines that kids have to take in order to be able to go to school, even be in the workplace. Now, do you think this vaccine will become a mandate?
No, I don't think so. That's just not where the public mindset is right now. But that would cause a lot of pushback. Whereas if it was just generally available and people saw that it was working and safe, I think that more people would get it. And I'm going to continue to suggest it in my office, just as I suggested everybody gets the flu vaccine. So I don't think it's going to be mandated, though. That's a little beyond the rules of the government.
Okay. Now, real quick, one time for the tinfoil hat crew out there, I sometimes wear that myself. A lot of people feel like, whoa, this is real convenient that they dropping the vaccine right now. So let me guess. I take this and all of a sudden, I can't produce any more children, or, this is a form of population control. Some people don't even believe in the plant-based foods that they're throwing out there and mass marketing at a high level because they feel like this is all part of a larger plan. What say you to that?
All part of a larger plan, the impossible vaccine and the impossible burger. No, I think that this vaccine is going to be safe. I think it's going to be okay. It's not population control. They're not implanting chips in you when you get the vaccine. They're not going to be able to track you. They can do that today with your cell phone. Anybody, if they want to find you, they can by just tracking your cell phone. And everybody keeps their cell phones on 24/7. So the technology exists. They don't have to do anything more so than they already do. But I think that you don't have to worry about that. I don't think it's going to have any downside as far as sterilizing the population, et cetera. Because if everybody gets it, remember, there are more majority people. We're in the minority. And so they're not going to have a special version just for the minority patients. They don't know, when they dispense them, who's who. So I think that it will be good for once it's readily available for people to definitely consider getting it. Right now, go get your flu shot today. If you haven't gotten your flu shot, go to any place that sells medications, your local pharmacy, your local grocery store. They have the flu shots. If you have insurance, it's free. If you don't, it's $25, $35. It's the best investment that you can make to get you through this winter because this vaccine is not going to be available. And we're trying to avoid this twindemic. We don't want people getting the flu and the coronavirus.
Got you. Now, looking at the virus as a whole in its totality, I mean, you look at how many people got it versus how many people have recovered, and there's a lot of really weird, underreported, long-term things that people deal with, like after not doing it. Some people lose their, still haven't regained their sense of taste. There's some people who have, eczema now after recovering from the coronavirus. What are some of the other things you've seen out there?
Okay, the foggy brain is one of the things that we're talking about, just a generalized sense of weakness, the loss of sense of taste and smell, persistent shortness of breath. All those things are what we're calling long-termers or long-timers. They're having chronic symptoms based on the damage that the virus has done. They're still not having live virus. They're still not carrying it. We don't have and have not identified a carrier state. So once a person gets it, 10 to 14 days after they're diagnosed, with day one being the day that you get your test, then you should be safe and protected from the virus. That's why we're not doing repeat testing, because it's not necessary, and sometimes you'll get a false positive. But you may have viral remnants that are being detected by the very sensitive PCR nasal swab, but you don't have active disease. So the most important test to get after you've gotten it and tested positive for the virus is to get the antibody test and determine whether you have positive antibodies. If you have positive antibodies, I'm not necessarily going to recommend that you get the vaccine at that point until we see how long your natural immunity will last. So at this point, again, it appears they're doing safety studies at this point, because long term, what happens after you've gotten the shot and how long, one, will the immunity last? Two, are there any long-term effects that we have not identified that all of a sudden show up?
There it is. Well, yo, Dr. MJ Collier, thank you so much for always carving out time for us and giving us the info we need. And if people want to follow you, where do they go?
They can follow me on all social media at ASK Dr. MJ. And tomorrow night I'm doing Facebook Live at 7 p.m. Go to Ask Dr. MJ on Facebook Live. And then go to my website, lipodrops.com, to find out how you can boost your immune system and help protect yourself from this coronavirus.
All right, thank you so much. One time for Dr. MJ Collier, the hip-hop doc.
We are the Morning Hustle.